Hello again, happy Monday, Advanced Anatomy and Physiology crew. Wow, thank you for all the work. We're almost halfway done with this semester already. Please keep going. Quizzes are up and should be available. Please go over that stuff. Take a look at anything that you may have missed. Well, it's still fresh. There's no better time to review last week's quizzes than today. And please keep in mind this is payable forward. So if there's anything that you're struggling with, you need to get that dialed in. Because we do have exams coming up, and more on that in just a second. This week we'll focus on brain circulation. There are a couple of videos for lecture on the blood-brain barrier, which is this really cool sort of protective arrangement that we have to keep the super delicate tissues of our brain protected from some things that are normally found in blood. So there's two videos on the blood-brain barrier, and there's a very technical reading on brain circulation, maybe the most technical reading that we've had so far. And it's not scary. There's nothing about it that's impossible, but it just means you need to spend a whole bunch of time on it. So this week for lecture, 2 videos on blood-brain barrier and a technical reading on brain circulation. For the brain circulation reading, I highly suggest that you rely on your electronic textbook. I highly suggest that you draw pictures, write some sample problems, map things out, because you will need it. For lab this week, we'll play kind of catch up before we have a lab exam. There are 2 simulations to do. Some of you are still missing these simulations, and I can't quite figure out why. But that's maybe something for us to talk about individually. So you have 2 simulations to do. One is on EKG or ECG, and the other is on diffusion. And last but not least for lab, we will review how blood flows through the heart. So you've had this before. We reviewed structures last week. Now we'll spend some time relearning the pathway that blood takes through the heart. So for lab, there are 2 simulations and a blood flow video. And also, if you take a look in D2L, under the week 7 folder, I've opened up a whole bunch of sample problems for blood flow so that you can work through those things. Okay, at the end of this week, we will not have quizzes because you have your second set of exams. There's a lecture exam and there's a lab exam. These exams will cover everything that we've gotten through since the first exam. So these past couple of weeks, please take a look at the checklist. The checklist spells out all the content for lecture and all the content for lab. The checklist is your friend. Start soon, review last week's quizzes, especially the hard stuff if you're still struggling with that, which is just fine. And then take a look at this week, jump in mightily. We got exams at the end of this week from Sunday to Monday. You'll need a lot of time this week to get through the content, and you've got exams coming up. I'll reach out to each of you individually. I do appreciate the work. Please get cranking. Use your time wisely. As you know, it flies. I appreciate it, folks. Have a safe Monday.